take this moment to invite some more of my friends to join me on stage to show you just what I mean. Along with the drones are our friends Jan, Daniel, and Michael from Ascending Technologies. They worked with us to integrate RealSense technology into each of the Firefly drones you see here. Now, there's something very unique about these drones. They also have an Intel processor that helps these drones use the information from RealSense to see, think, and adapt. No more collisions. Guys, why don't you walk through the drones? You can see they put down their controls, so the drones are adapting to them. So, I'd like to try something a little bit more advanced though. We're going to try the first ever drone ping pong game to demonstrate the drone's ability to avoid a moving object. So, let's put two of the drones down, and we'll use this drone here, and we're going to play a little drone ping pong, simply moving the drone between us. You see the drone continues to try and stay in one position, but keep it from going in the audience, avoiding us at all times. I can tell you we played this in a conference room one day, and it was pretty exciting. So let's drop the final drone, and I'd like to go over and talk to Jan and just hear a little bit. Jan, can you tell us a little bit about what you've done here with RealSense and your Firefly drones?
Sure. So we are using 6 RealSense cameras to create a 360-degree view, as you can see here. So we see obstacles far away are blue and close by are red. We can move around a little. We use our Intel onboard computer to extract the most relevant information and send it to our triple redundant STEC Trinity autopilot, which then calculates position data and obstacle avoidance commands. This is all done without GPS or motion capture system.
So, okay, not done with GPS, just done with motion capture. Why is this a big deal?
It's just so much easier and safer to fly a drone with this technology. You can just focus on the goal and let the system handle the dynamic environment. It's a game changer for the whole industry.
Thanks, John. This is great. We think that drones are... We think that drones have a possibility to change our lives in many ways. You've heard about drone delivery, but there's much more. Drones can deliver medications and life-saving interventions to remote places, inspect power lines, agricultural fields, and gas lines. Assist humans, basically keeping the humans out of danger. With our technology, these intelligent robots open doors that can lead to amazing wonders. These drones can avoid obstacles, and the fact is, the real world is filled with all kinds of obstacles. Almost like a giant obstacle course. So we decided to build one here at CES. And we want to see if our drones can safely navigate through it. We call it our very own game of drones. We've used programming to restrict the drone to fly the shortest distance from Daniel down there at the far end to the nearer end to the stage here. Their job is to fly the shortest distance, and we've contained them to that space, but we've not told them how to get there. Their job now is to navigate that obstacle course the best way, the shortest way they can, to safely get to the other side here, just outside. So, Daniel, let's see what happens. What you see is the drone takes off, and Daniel will put the controller up as he just simply releases it and says, go from point A to point B, being here. He puts the controller up, and the drone is off on its own control. You'll see it moving left to right, but not only is it moving left to right, it's having to move up and down as it avoids the obstacles that we put in its place. The drone's doing this all on its own. You can go in and change. If somebody wants to stand in front of that drone, they're welcome to. But we made one last obstacle to prove to you this is live. We put a set of doors at the end, preventing the drone from getting to its final home. So let's say we let the drone go home and we go ahead and open the doors. The real leap forward that the industry has been waiting for is literally give drones sight to increase not only autonomy, but safety. And that's exactly what RealSense, Intel processing, and these Firefly drones have done. We took it a step further though. Just prior to CES, we took these drones out into the real world to see what would happen. Let's take a look. Staged, simply did the same thing. Point A to point B, that was a forest outside the Santa Cruz Mountains. We set the drone's speed at about 12 miles per hour as they go through the forest. What you've just seen are some of the ways that intelligent, connected technology will change our lives for the better. But let's talk about the final force, the wearable revolution. Wearables are a natural extension of computing. Wearables are becoming ultra-personal. 12 months ago, when I stood on stage here, the wearable revolution had just begun. You saw during this year, Intel introduce Mika, the intelligent wristband, SMS audio, BioSport in-ear headphones, and Edison. They're all today in the marketplace. Now, wearables are creating new opportunities for innovation. And I'd like to show you some more of what the next generation is. So as I said, last year, we introduced Edison. We brought you Edison, which was basically a computer the size of a postage stamp. A revolution in the shape and size of computing. We made the Make It Wearable contest focused around Edison. But as engineers, we knew we could do better. We knew we could make computers and compute even smaller. And I have to tell you, we've done it. We've made them so small, they're like the button on this jacket. I'd like to introduce you to Curie. Curie is the next generation in computing. Let me show you what's inside. This module contains a Quark SoC, Bluetooth low energy radio, sensors. It's power efficient, can run for extended periods of time from a coin-sized battery or a rechargeable battery. In addition to Quark, we've also added a dedicated sensor hub processor and pattern classification engine that allows it to identify different sporting activities quickly and precisely. This product is just out of our labs. To show you that it's working, we created a simple app. We made an app that would simply measure the number of steps I've been taking during this keynote. So I'm at 1,788 steps right now. Not bad. If you didn't think keynotes were a little bit of exercise, it's a bit. Not in my heart rate. I think I'm going okay tonight. This is just the first prototype of Curie. Curie is really meant to be a platform. It will be available second half of 2015. We're really excited to bring Curie to our partners. With this product, they can deliver wearables in a range of form factors. Rings, bags, bracelets, pendants, and yes, even the buttons on our jackets. This changes the game of wearables. One of the most exciting aspects of the wearable technology that we've experienced this year are the new collaborations we are creating, blending fashion and technology together. We've been working with partners like Barney's of New York, SMS Audio, CFDA, Opening Ceremony, and Fossil to make exciting new products. In December, we announced our collaboration with Luxottica, the company behind eyewear brands like Ray-Ban, Persol, Michael Kors, and many others. Today, I want to announce the next collaboration to integrate Luxottica's world-class eyewear brands with Intel's cutting-edge technology to create truly consumer-friendly, smart eyewear. To do that, I'd like to introduce my good friend, the CEO of Oakley, Colin Baker. Welcome to CES, and thank you for coming on the keynote. Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about the philosophy of Oakley on how do you marry design and technology together?
This year is our 40th anniversary as a company. In 1975, we started out as a small hand grip company. Now we're a global leader of optical technology and design. The aspect or the philosophy that got us to this place in the world was a real curiosity to look at problems. And typically we would invent solutions to those problems from scratch and then wrap those solutions in art. If I talk to any one of you today and I would ask you, what do you know about Oakley? And you'd probably tell me, those are the guys that make eyewear for athletes, typically male, which couldn't be further from the truth. We actually got into the wearables category 10 years ago. And the reason we did it was we knew that this is where your eyes are, this is where your ears are, this is where a lot of interaction can happen. And as a performance brand, we believed that integrating smart technology with eyewear was a logical future. If you look at our history, we started with MP3 players and thumb. We moved on to Bluetooth-enabled devices for connectivity. And then last year, we launched this great ski goggle called Airwave, which provided a heads-up display that gave you maps, GPS, told you where your friends were skiing, gave you text, music streaming, phone, camera connectivity. It's just an amazing device that did wonderful things and was getting a consumer experience like nothing we could have provided just as an optical person.
So those are all great products. I actually have one of each one of those and use them regularly. So can you tell us what the areas of focus are for this partnership?
So if I think back on the history of our company, we're an athletic brand. So we have 550 professional athletes that are part of our organization. They're involved with skiing, snowboarding, cycling, running, training. And these are all activities that both a professional athlete and a consumer would really enjoy an enhanced experience. The Airwave being a great example. And I know that in the world of optics, when a person puts something on their face, it's saying a lot about their personality. It becomes part of your personality. And so it's important that the form factor compress so that the electronic component of it doesn't become burdensome, it doesn't become part of it. It's actually seamless. So with a partner like Intel, I think of all the functionality that we can compress into a very small space, into a beautifully designed pair of glasses, will change the sport industry for us, as well as change the lifestyle construct of our culture.
That's great, Paul. I really want to thank you for coming on stage here and talking to us about this partnership, and I look forward to the next product I get to wear from Oakland. Thank you very much. We see the fun uses of wearables, fashion and sports, but there's another side to wearables. They can change our lives. The engineers at Intel asked the question, what problems could we solve using wearables? The first such application was easy to imagine. How could we help the visually impaired? Visual impairment affects many people. 39 million people worldwide are blind. Almost 250 million have impaired vision. The engineers at Intel started to develop a way to help visually impaired people better sense their environment. We integrated RealSense technology as a wearable and tested it in our labs. I'd like to show you this using this mannequin. The mannequin has RealSense technology, and you can see it on the side screens as well. There's a RealSense camera in the front, and these 6 sensors around the body. And as I approach it, you'll see it go from blue to red as I get closer. And there's also a vibration that lets the wearer know. You see I'm approaching from the right, I'm approaching from the left now, and the mannequin continues to see as I move around. So this is what we were able to do in our labs, but we wanted to see how this could impact someone in real life. We've been lucky to have the opportunity to work with an Intel employee, Daryl Adams, on this.
When I was 14, I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. The doctor told me that I would likely lose most of my vision by the time I was an older adult. When I walk into a restaurant, the first thing I need to do is stop, scan from side to side. Mainly I'm looking for where I need to go to make sure that I'm not going to run into something or somebody. It's very common to greet somebody with a handshake. When I look at somebody, all I can see is their face, and I will miss that handshake. I'm approaching a crossroads in my life and my career, and I don't want to be defined by my limitations.
So I'd like to take this moment now, and I'd like you to please join me in welcoming Daryl to the stage. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Daryl, can you just tell us a little bit, how was it like to use this technology?
Sure. When I'm wearing this jacket, I'm able to feel the changes that are happening around me. And this is really important because my ability to respond to visual cues is really, really slow. In fact, often I don't respond at all. However, my ability to respond to that sensation of touch is immediate. And this technology captures that sense around me and then translates that information into subtle vibrations, which basically allows me to fill in the gaps that I've missed. This gives me a sense of comfort and confidence in my environment that I have not felt for a long, long time.
So that's great, Daryl. As engineers, I think we both understand the technology, we see how it works, but what's it been like for you personally to use this, and what has the impact been to you?
Well, I live in a state of fairly continuous mild anxiety because I know that when I'm only actually seeing less than 20% of what others see. And this makes it very difficult for me to stay engaged in social situations. And example, when we're having a conversation, I would typically only be paying partial attention because I would be listening to the conversation, but then also being very interested in what's going on around me to make sure I'm not missing something. And that shift is back and forth. But now with this technology, I know that it's going to inform me when something is needing my attention, so I can stay fully engaged in our conversation. I can remain in the moment. And that is incredible.
That's great, Joe. I mean, even I really want to thank you for coming on stage here tonight and being a part of this presentation and really showing us what this technology can do. Thank you very much. This is one example of how real sense and wearable technology can change people's lives. We want to work with industry and partners to bring solutions like this to people everywhere. I'd like to announce tonight that we'll be making the this wearable technology openly available to the broader ecosystem later this year. We'll make the source code, the design tools, publicly available so developers can extend and improve this platform. Anyone can use this to help the visually impaired and build it. Last year on this stage, along with Edison, I announced the 2014 Make It Wearable contest. It was a great success. Over 2,000 submissions from all over the world were submitted. Today, I'm announcing that we'll be doing the Make It Wearable Contest 2015, again this year. We promise to make it even bigger and better. More details to come as the year rolls out. But what I want to show you tonight was this year's winner, the first place winner and the recipient of the $500,000 grand prize, Nixie, the first wearable camera that can fly. So let me invite Yana and Christoph, Team Nixie, to the stage. Hey, Christoph. So, Yana, could you just talk to us a little bit, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, Christoph and I have worked in technology for a long time. We both love photography, we have lots of equipment, and we felt like we had what we needed to capture our favorite moments. Until we missed a big one, our daughter's first steps. We were so excited, and the photo we ended up with was a close-up of her face, kind of like this, from our phones, after she had already sat down. We were really sad, and we asked ourselves, why is it hard to capture that moment? So we set out to create a solution. A camera that you can access really quickly because it's wearable. A camera that gives you an amazing perspective because it's fly. And a camera that frees you to enjoy the moment, frees your hands and your attention because it's autonomous. You don't need to operate it at all.
So Christoph, can you tell us a little bit about how Nixie works?
Nixie comes with you throughout your day. And whenever there's a moment that you want to capture, like being on stage at the keynote, you just flick it off your wrist. And now it's actually ready to go. You don't need a remote control. You don't need to take the cell phone out of your pocket to control it in some way. It's autonomous. It has sensors in there that give it awareness of space. And so all you need to do is to flick it in a direction. It's going to go there, take a picture, and return.
Okay, so I promised everybody that we do everything live here at CES, so can we see it live?
I think we should give it a try.
Okay, so now those of you in the audience, get your cameras ready because we're about to witness history here. We're going to see Nixie take the first ever flying photo on the CES stage. So let's get in our positions and let's give it a try. Yeah, come closer. Okay, there we go. So, Yana, could you tell us a little bit about where do you see this kind of technology in Nixie going in the future?
Well, in addition to the oh wow, I get to wear a wearable flyable camera with me, and that's awesome. We also see this as the natural evolution of photography. So cameras were initially really big, they were manual, you had to work and know how to use them. Then you had auto exposure, you had auto focus, cameras got lighter and smaller and more portable. So what we're offering here is auto composition, right? Auto positioning. A camera that you don't even think about because it does everything effortlessly. And as a team, personally, of course, we're growing our team. We'd love for you to get in touch with us if you're interested. Keep track of us on flynixie.com. From a product perspective, we're going to make it smaller, cooler looking, and work on the image quality.
You guys have made great progress in the 2 months since the contest ended. I have one more thing, though. I'd like you to help us make this the biggest Twitter moment at CES. I'd like you to tweet the following picture with the hashtag #BoomFlyNixie. That's live, that's real. Thanks, Chris. This was great.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. What about you guys? That was amazing. I mean, you really see where this is going to go. So tonight I've showed you 3 forces we believe are shaping the next consumer technology wave. Those forces were computing unleashed, the 3-dimensional world, and having no wires, being unbounded, intelligence everywhere, making everything smart and connected, and the wearable revolution, ultra-personal, blending fashion and technology, solving real problems, and sometimes flying. We've talked about how we are going from a 2-dimensional world to a 3-dimensional world. But there's one more dimension I want to talk about tonight. One word that I can think of that can change this industry for the better. That word is inclusion. CES is the best platform to talk about both emerging consumer technology and the most important issues facing our industry. Last year, we talked about conflict minerals. We've made great progress on our journey to make everything Intel builds conflict-free. This year, there's another important industry-wide issue that will shape the future. The importance of diversity and inclusion in technology. The confluence of industry events has brought this issue to the center stage. From the threats and harassments that have characterized the debate in the gaming world, to the publication of hiring data and diversity statistics in the tech industry.